All right, welcome back to the Mackin Show, episode 2, and we're going to keep calling it the Mackin Show, because I don't mind it for right now. Haven't found it's only episode 2, but haven't found a different name for it at the moment. I like it because it's me. I'm Mackin, so we're going to keep that name going. And welcome back to episode 2. Got some fun shit to talk about. It's been a interesting weekend. End of last week since we did the last episode, and some stuff's happened. And it's Monday, June 19th, fresh off an amazing Father's Day. Hope all the fathers out there had an amazing day. Hopefully they were on the course or behind the grill or on the couch or whatever the fuck dads like to do. Hopefully you were there doing it. Speaking of golf, just came off of the US Open right here in Los Angeles at LA Country Club. LA Country Club's got some shit. Now, as a former golfer myself, aka I played high school golf. I got kicked off the team because I got disqualified purposefully for throwing all my stuff in the pond. And that's a story for another day. But LACC has been getting a lot of shit. I guess the course is very soft. I guess most golfers, or at least the top 5 or whatever, ended up being way below par, which shouldn't have happened. There were no trees. People were getting eagles on a par 5. Crazy shit. So LACC under some fire. I guess LACC bought half the tickets, and they wanted to buy all the tickets and just gave them to their members. Not cool, LACC. I know basically everyone who runs Hollywood golfs there, so don't watch this part and don't get mad at me, because I'd like to be rich enough to golf at LACC someday. Who knows? But yeah, they've been getting some shit. US Open was good. I don't really, some no-name dude who, maybe he's not a no-name, just to me, because I don't watch golf, won it. Obviously, I'm a Brooks guy. Shout out Brooks Koepka. He didn't win, but I guess Ricky Fowler did bad. A lot of the major other golfers did pretty bad. But regardless, LACC under some fucking fire, because golf course kind of sucks. I mean, maybe not in the realm of all golf courses in general, but golf course kind of sucks. So I've been seeing a lot of that type of shit in Los Angeles, just people getting mad about it. Trying to think anything else that's really happened this weekend. New episode of The Idol. I talked about it last episode that, the show's gotten some shit. The Weeknd's gotten some shit. Lily Rose Depp's gotten some shit. Just that, people are not in favor of the show The Idol right now. And I just think you got to grow up. TV's becoming a little more rated R. If you want your kids to watch kid shit, go to Nick Jr., go to Disney, go to ABC even, or Hallmark Channel, whatever. But this is HBO. This is what gave us The Sopranos. This is what gave us Entourage. This is what gave us even Game of Thrones. HBO's not going to give us some kiddie show. And yeah, so a new episode last night kind of wasn't really as, it was kind of sexual. They fucked in the closet of Dior or something like that. But, which is just funny. I was thinking it wasn't sexual. It was pretty damn sexual. But it wasn't as dark as the first 2 episodes. But again, I'm not seeing what people hate about this show so much. I get it. It's not Emmy Award winning TV, but if you think about it, for everyone that loved Euphoria or loves Euphoria, I get it. It touches on real world shit, but it's a bunch of high schoolers just taking a shitload of drugs, partying, and fighting each other. In Euphoria has cult-like fan base. So this is just Euphoria meets Entourage meets old Hollywood, talking about the dark side of the industry from a female, what was that? Talking from a female star's perspective. So I don't really know where a ton of the hate's coming from. Again, I don't think it's the best show I've ever watched in my life, but I think it's a good show. I think it's entertaining. I live in LA, so it's cool to see the spots they go to. Crazy thing about that, I was watching an interview that they actually film it at The Weeknd's house. I guess Sam Levinson, when he was at some meeting at The Weeknd's house, went up to him and was like, "Can we just shoot here? This is a crazy mega mansion, and it just shows the true essence of a pop superstar. So can we shoot it here?" And obviously he was like, "Yeah." And then it showed a clip of, I forget her name, Lily Rose Depp's assistant in the show, just saying, like, make yourself at home. And he kind of was like, Yeah, okay. And it's like it's got to feel cool to shoot a TV show, movie, whatever, like in your own home, because your own home is that fucking lit. So I thought it was really cool that they did that. Mike Dean isn't in it yet, but supposedly he's coming into it in the next couple episodes, and I'm fucking obsessed with Mike Dean because he's, I won't say the genius per se, because there's so many aspects to making music, obviously, but he's one of the geniuses behind some of my favorite artists in the hip-hop world that I've listened to, from The Weeknd, Kid Cudi, Kanye, and Travis fucking Scott. Like, he's the synth god. Mike Dean's awesome, so I can't wait to see his acting ability. And just because he's a goofy old white dude that is really fucking good at what he does, and he's in the hip-hop world, so I'm really excited to see kind of how he gets intertwined into the show. Like, what, I know his role is being Mike Dean, like he's playing himself in the show, but also I watch videos of him, and he's been in some interviews, but he's not really that vocal about like himself. So I'm excited to see kind of what, he's got going on in the show, and I can't wait. New episode of the Kardashians, but on top of Kardashian news, breaking news in my world. And I've been a Kardashian stan for years. Love all of them. Think they're all dope. Like, Kourtney Kardashian Barker is fucking pregnant again. And so her and Travis Barker are officially expecting, and I thought she couldn't have done it in a cooler way, because what we've seen from it is they announce it on the show or some big reveal on Instagram like Kylie kind of did. And however you want to announce your child, cool. I thought this was the coolest fucking way, that she went to a Blink-182 concert and she held up a sign saying, "Travis, I'm pregnant." And she's a rock star wife. Like, she's a punk rock star wife. She's a tour wife. Like, she's embedded herself in that culture, I think, pretty well, in my opinion. And so she's got that vibe. And one thing I like about it is that, and don't hate me, I don't have too much knowledge of it. I didn't watch this music video at hand, but supposedly there was a music video, because I saw a clip of it, of, early 2000s, back when Blink was coming out with like new music, of there was a music video and it showed Travis, doing his thing on the drums, and someone was holding up a sign that said, "Travis, I'm pregnant." So she kind of recreated that in her own way, which is just fucking iconic in a stadium full of tens of thousands of people. And I just thought it was so cool. It was like not normally what they would do. And, he got done, like he went straight off the drums, like went right to her. And no, I just thought it was a cool ass fucking announcement. That kid is going to have 2 cool parents. The family grows by 1 more. One thing I want to know, though, is because they posted, like Kourtney posted pictures of it afterwards, and her bump was like bumping. It wasn't like crazy big, but it was bumping a little bit. It was bumping like maybe you turn the volume halfway, like it was bumping. And how didn't he know? Like, how did Travis not notice? Like, oh shit, like you're pregnant. Like, because it was, at least by the picture, like I could look at that picture and be like, oh, she's pregnant. So I don't know how, maybe she's just really good with the baggy clothes. Maybe they have been getting after it lately. But yeah, I was wondering, and maybe it's because he's been on tour, and that's how that goes. You grow over time. But yeah, it's going to be cool to see how that goes. She seems like she pushes kids out light work. Like, they even filmed it, I think, when she either had Mason or Penelope, just pushing that baby out and yanking him out with her. Like, she seemingly so does not have a heart. Like, Kim had a tough time with pregnancy. Kourtney seems to just easy as hell. So can't wait for her to have another kid. That's another just royal fucking lineage. Like, imagine the Kardashian kids, right? And like your family. Like, right, I've met people that maybe like their second uncle was a producer for this TV show, or maybe their, second cousin's dad was like played on this basketball team, but he was like the 10th man, or whatever relation you have to fame. But imagine being, let's take Kourtney Kardashian Barker and Travis Barker's kid. Your parents are Kourtney Kardashian Barker and Travis Barker. Your aunt and uncles are Travis Scott, Kylie Jenner, Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, Tristan Thompson, Khloe Kardashian, Kendall, and whatever celebrity, because she's going to obviously have a child with a celebrity. I have no doubt about that. Whatever celebrity she wants to have a kid with, Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble, Caitlyn Jenner, Rob Kardashian, Black China. Like, imagine those. And I know we see it on the show, but just imagine those Christmases. Like, Thanksgivings. Like, just family events that you have the U.S. royal family all together. Like, I personally, I don't care if that's dramatic. I absolutely feel like the Kardashian-Jenner family is America's royal family. And I have no doubt about that. Because if you think about it, the regular royal family is respected as they are in the UK and London, England, etc. It's not like they have political power. They're just public figures at this point, but they're just very, like, respected by everyone there. The Kardashians, I don't give a shit how much hate the Kardashians have. They are absolute. Every business they touch turns to gold. Kim's out here freeing people from prison, and, you know, they have just about, I think, the most dense celebrity-packed family possibly in history, in my opinion. And I get it. I'm not, like, saying that what he's said has not mattered, but you have someone that created Yeezy, created Skims, one of the most popular reality shows of all time, one of the most popular makeup brands of all time, and one of the biggest models ever, and just you have one of the best athletes ever. Like, it's crazy to think the depth this family goes, and they're our fucking royal family. So honestly, I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. So shout out the fucking Kardashian family. Shout out Kourtney Kardashian Barker and Travis Barker. It's lit. And speaking of other royal family members, I can't believe, I didn't even know they had one, but I guess Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's podcast is over. I guess they had a podcast. And get this, right? As I'm just shooting this podcast that's going to get 75 views for fun because I love talking. I guess they signed a $20 million Spotify contract to do a podcast. I think it was over 3 years. They did 12. They did 12 episodes. Now, I get it. I don't know what's going on in their personal life. I don't really care. And because I'm not big on Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, like, shout out to them. Like, they're living rich. They're doing great. But they haven't really infatuated me like they have everybody else. But how do you see there is so much I would do for, like, so much I would do for $20 million. And they had a hard time shooting 12 podcast episodes. Like, that's crazy to me. So Spotify, rightfully so, said, fuck this. Like, we are not giving, like, deal done. You guys just can't even do 12 podcast episodes plus for $20 million. Like, crazy. So that deal ended. And I just want to know, like, I mean, if they don't like it, then fantastic. But, like, what do they do? Like, what do they do now? Like, I think they still have charities, or maybe not. I mean, I know they're chilling up in Montecito right now, but I don't really know what they do. Like, they could shoot, like, you know how many podcast studios I've seen that are just made in people's homes? I don't know how much they're worth, but it's just crazy that, you know, they couldn't even get past 12 episodes with $20 million staring at them. But, you know, they're going to go jet over to wherever and do their thing. I just thought that was crazy. And, you know, speaking of airlines, I think I kind of find this really cool, and maybe that's just horrible of me because the way whatever. But I guess American airline employees supposedly made almost $10,000 a week stealing weed from people's luggages. And low-key, I kind of think that's badass. Because I want to know too, I mean, unless someone was just like, fuck this and reported it. But, like, it's the same thing for, like, if you've ever watched The Wire, or, like, I've seen it firsthand, like, someone robbing a drug dealer or drug dealers robbing drug dealers. Because, like, what are you going to do? Call the police? Like, hey, my weed was stolen. Hey, my drug money was stolen. Like, you can't do that. So clearly that must be how they got away with it for a while. But I kind of think that's badass. I mean, I'm not saying stealing's badass, but, you know, fuck it. They came up $10,000 a week. Like, also, how are they finding this many people who are flying a week with weed that much? Like, I'm terrified of that. I'm even terrified to fly with Advil. Like, I personally know people who fly, not trafficking and shit, but I know people who, if they're going on vacation, or I have friends who, like, they've flown with weed coke, Molly, shrooms, like, and they fly with this shit. Like, nope, because I would not last a day. I would not last a day in jail. I would for sure have a panic attack, and jail's not meant for me. I like to go do things and kind of try to be free and whatnot. And I know there's some things that you can't, whatever. But I would not last in fucking jail. So the free will of people just flying with drugs to a vacation. I'm not even talking about trafficking and like making my, I'm literally talking about you're going on vacation with your boys. You want to bring a good time. I will try to find it when I'm there. And that may be sketchy as fuck. But regardless, like, you will not catch me getting on a plane with anything, because fuck that. That just terrifies me. Because imagine, like, because I always wonder that too, like when famous people do that all the time, and like I get famous people can get away with stuff, but imagine like living that fame and wealth life and then like being exposed to that and then having to go to prison. Like imagine Young Thug right now, like free Young Thug. It's fucking bullshit. Like you guys are just being mean at this point. Like you should absolutely free Thug, because just imagine being Young Thug and living this crazy lifestyle, and then now you're just 8x10 or however big a jail cell is. Like you're there. Like I don't blame people for trying to get out the way or any way they can to get out. And that leads me to Gunna. And I truthfully think people are going to feel very stupid when they find out that Thug and Gunna are actually like cool with each other, because you can't tell me that all this communication that Thug has with his lawyer, who's probably a good lawyer because he pays good money for him because he's fucking rich, couldn't get a message out like Gunna's a rat, like Gunna told. Especially if you've been sitting in a jail cell for over a year. I'm pretty sure, like me personally, I would be angry. I'd be annoyed. I'd be like, okay, like I'm setting some shit straight. And nothing has came out about that. Like Thug's even had posted on his Instagram, like that QR code thing of a countdown. He's posted on Instagram a couple times. Like not him personally, but he's communicated it through people to do so. So I feel like if one of his main mans snitched on him, he's gonna go and tell them to say something about it. So I don't think Gunna snitched, and I'm listening to him regardless. Like his last album, what was it called again? A Gift and a Curse. Went fucking crazy. Like went absolutely crazy, and he went 15 for 15. Hit after hit after hit after fire after fire after fire. No Wheezy out of here. No Tay Keith. No Metro. No whoever, no features. Gunna really did the shit, and he definitely seemed like he had an axe to grind. For sure. Like, he wasn't sitting here outing people and, like, you know, like name dropping people and shit like that, but he absolutely, you could tell he had a chip on his shoulder, rightfully so, because, I mean, he got out of prison and mad people started turning on him. And again, I don't know the details, but I'd be tight too, especially if I was rich as fuck, and especially if I'm, like, one of the best out here. I'm going to be like, yeah, what the fuck? Like, Lil Durk called him a rat. Wheezy said he stopped and work. And, like, these are big name people. It's not like, you know, Joe Schmo over here with 62 followers is like, Gunna's a rat. And he's just like some white kid from the suburbs. Like, who gives a fuck about that? But he had big name people who, like, live that life sitting there calling him a rat. And, like, that can't be easy. So, like, yeah, I 100% get why he'd have a chip on his shoulder. So I can't wait to see. It's going to be interesting, like, how, you know, he just keeps going from here. And I'm betting right now it's going to break the internet when it happens too. When Thug gets out, when he inevitably gets out, because he's going to, because fucking free Young Thug, him and Gunna are going to come out with a song or an album. Because I really don't think the beef is there. And like I said before, I just don't think he told. So they're going to come out with some shit, and it's going to have people like, what? It's going to break the internet. So I can't wait for that to happen, because obviously I'm a big Gunna fan. And just don't really want to, I don't like this beef, because I like them together and shit like that. You know, I like watching people make fucking hits and fucking level up and do cool ass shit. But no, I mean, in that world, that's really about it on that. And, so one thing that I've been doing over the last, like, I want to say 2.5, 3 weeks, is I've been binge watching Dance Moms. I personally feel if you haven't, everyone out there needs to watch and study Dance Moms. I was never against this show. I never judged the show. I just never watched it when I was younger. And Emma randomly started watching it one day, and I was like, all right, fuck it. Like, I know who Abby Lee Miller is. Like, I know who the woman who sounds like a pack of cigarettes yelling at these children are. And I hear the TikTok voices and shit like that, like, of her. And I know who Maddie Ziegler, JoJo is, etc. I was like, but let me watch this show. Like, let me truthfully watch this show. So goddamn entertaining. So entertaining. And, like, obviously that comes at the cost of, I'm sure, most of the cast being just emotionally and mentally just, like, fucked for a little while, like, / forever. Not 100% sure. But this show is so goddamn entertaining because it's just about, I mean, literally a bunch of moms from Pittsburgh taking their children to this dance studio with this just beast of a woman who is extremely good at what she does. I will put that out there. Fucking Abby Lee wins. She wins. She gets first place all the time. And she gets first place without Maddie. Like, what, season 6, when Maddie left the show, different story. But, like, even early on, if Maddie wasn't doing a solo or if Maddie wasn't in the group, she's still getting number 1, beating the shit out of Candy Apples every time. But this show is pure entertainment. I think the moms are fucking awesome. Just the kids dancing are clearly fucking winners. And, you know, I just think it's so goddamn funny. Like, it's a funny ass show. And this is going to be a hot take. Through all the yelling and berating Abby Lee does, she's prepping these kids right. I know. I said it. I think she's prepping these kids right because these kids all made it very abundantly clear they want to be in the entertainment industry. I've seen it firsthand. You think, oh, we got a big budget shoot today. We got a video to shoot today. We got this meeting. Do you think any of that stops because your feelings are hurt or because you're just having an off day or because someone yelled at you? Absolutely the fuck not. Show goes on. And if it's not you, they're going to get someone else to do it. So she low-key is prepping these kids. Now, should she be, like, you know, just completely making fun of and, like, comparing, like, a really good person to, like, a 6-year-old? No, because that's going to mentally fuck them. But, like, imagine Maddie Ziegler now. Like, imagine me and Maddie Ziegler were on the same set. I just got yelled at crazy and compared to somebody else. I'm going to be like, damn, my feelings are hurt. This sucks. She didn't come up to me like, I've been dealing with this since I was 6. This is light work. This is nothing. And I'm sure she does that now because she's, like, officially a movie star and, like, an actual star. And, I mean, shit, JoJo Siwa was the face of Nickelodeon for a minute. Kenzie Ziegler's big. And the rest are still, like, influences in their own right. But couple of them got up out of there. Like, Chloe said, fuck this. Brooke and Paige said, fuck. Well, their mom smacked the shit out of Abby, which was hilarious. But they got up out of there. And then Maddie and Kenzie left after, like, season 6, I want to say. But Kenzie is low-key me in that show because it just seems like she don't give a fuck. Like, she wants to do good, but she just don't really care. Like, Kenzie Ziegler is kind of like, yeah, like, her original interview of, like, I just want to sit home and eat chips. Like, this was just fun to her, and she just, on top of it, was good. And, you know, it's tough when you have a sibling who excels all the time, but I think she dealt with that so well. Like, you never saw, maybe behind closed doors, but you never saw Kenzie, like, mad that her sister was getting this solo or mad that her sister's being compared to everyone. And she was kind of just like, yeah, I'm there. She played, like, the cute little kid role for a little while and then, like, started winning and still was like, I don't really give a fuck. And I love that. Like, that's, like, the common man's dance person right there. Like, I don't really give a fuck. I'm here. I'm part of the winning team. I'll do what I need to do, and then I want to go home and watch TV. Like, Kenzie Ziegler, I feel that. I do. And now she's just, you know, killing shit on YouTube, doing her YouTube thing. Like, her and her sister are doing great. Like, they became stars from this shit. So, shout out that fucking show. I personally think I think it's up there for my top 3 or 4 favorite reality shows ever now. With no order, Jersey Shore, Vanderpump Rules, Dance Moms, Kardashians. Top 4 favorite reality shows in no order because it comes and goes when you have, like, seasons that are better than some and are, like, the ending of Dance Moms kind of fucking sucks, but the early was great. Ending of Jersey Shore kind of was like, but early was fucking awesome. Vanderpump, just about all of it was great. But no, speaking of new seasons too, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Obviously, I'm a Kardashian aficionado, and new episodes and new seasons coming out. It's pretty good. Obviously, like the show's growing with the family. Like obviously, like Kim and them aren't in their 30s, fucking off, not caring anymore. Obviously, Kylie and Kendall are out here killing shit, doing their own thing too, and everyone's busy. But no, like I like this season. I think it's interesting. It's kind of showing their business end of things, like the newest episode. And Kim was creative directing the Dolce & Gabbana show. Kourtney just got fresh off of her marriage, which now she's got a +1 now. But, Kylie is kind of revamping Kylie Cosmetics. Kendall's still out here killing shit in the modeling world. Khloe with Good American. So it's definitely following more of their business endeavors, because obviously there's not going to be the same type of drama. There's not going to be Scott punching a mirror in Miami because him and Kourtney are on their 200th fight. It's not going to be Kim with her newest boyfriend. I guess that came back around because it is now, but it's not going to be Kim like with her new boyfriend, like not knowing shit. It's not going to be Kylie just starting out in the industry. It's not going to be Khloe with Lamar. Like it's going to be so much higher tier shit. Like all of them are worth just about $100 million plus. Some of them billions at this point. Like, so it's definitely grown with them in that aspect, and I like it. Obviously, like I'm always gonna watch that shit because it's super cool to just still see what they do. But no, I think the new season's fucking dope. I don't know where it's, because there's definitely some drama coming. I know it. I smell the drama. I think it's coming. Because there's obviously shit that happened, and Kim and Khloe at least are very good at kind of like very much opening up on that. Like Kourtney's been vocal, like she doesn't want to have that be her thing anymore, where she puts it all out there, which I get. Like she's gone through, I know they all have, but Kourtney's gone through her fair share of hell, like with Scott, and putting it all on camera and just not wanting to do that anymore. And I don't think that's not showing respect to the show, because the show is what made them. I just think it's kind of like, yeah, like I'm sure they made hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions. So that debt is paid. That whole, this show is why we're here, that's paid. You guys did that. You did that by season 6 already. We're on season like 22 or whatever. So yeah, whenever they do want to walk away, great. Because again, like they're walking into billion-dollar businesses. So no, I can't wait to see where the show goes. I want Rob to be in it more. Shout out Rob. But no, it's a good ass season so far. Kendall's doing a good job at showing us that she's still a horse girl and likes to get active, which I still don't think is true. Hot take. I mean, I know on the show they're showing it, but she's an asset at this point to whether it's IMG, wherever she signed. Like she's the highest paid supermodel in the world. Like no, they do not want her riding all these jet skis and horses and hurting the moneymaker, which is her body. And, God forbid she breaks a fucking leg and there's a Prada show the next day. Like, that's not going to go over well. So I don't think Kendall's really as much of a sporty girl as she likes to paint. But I could be wrong on that. But regardless, it's still funny to watch them just, like, once every 6 months. Like, oh, like, we're going horseback riding again. It's like, oh, cool. So I can't believe Kylie got on the horse. That's something I was very surprised by. Not that I know she had that same adventurous lifestyle before they got super rich, but I was surprised to see Kylie get on the horse, and she did that well. So yeah, I think it's a good fucking season so far. Can't wait to see new episodes. I know there's going to be drama coming soon. Yeah, and I want to see what else we got going on here. What's trending? Ooh, in my world that I love, I'm a big... in the West Coast, you don't see it as much. I am a big Barstool person, always have been. Love every part of my take. First off, greatest fucking podcast ever. Like, greatest idea, 2 best hosts. Like, part of my take's fucking awesome. But they're moving. Not fully, but they're moving to Chicago, most of them. So their Chicago office has always been an office, but, they're moving a shit ton of their New York people to Chicago because part of my take's going there. I think, what's what's the other one? Like their college football show with Brandon Walker and everyone. The Yak is moving there. So they're taking Big Cat, PFT, Hank, Brandon Walker, KB, Nick, Rico possibly, not 100% sure. And so many of so many of Barstool personalities are going to Chicago now. And I think that'll be cool. Their New York office is just so iconic, and it's staying there because, like, Me and Girls are staying there. Chicks in the Office is staying there. I'm sure Brie Chicken Fry is going to stay there. KFC Radio is going to stay there. So their New York office is still going to be lit, but they're just trying to build up their Chicago office. So I think it's going to be cool because they already have, like, Redline Radio, Dog Walk, like, with Eddie, White Sox Dave, etc. Fuck White Sox Dave. Not for any reason, just fuck him. And yeah, I can't wait to see where Chicago goes. Prez Portnoy obviously is in Miami, Boston, New York. He'll go wherever. I mean, dude's rich as fuck now. He can go wherever. But yeah, I can't wait to see how Barstool Chicago. I think they're like officially starting everything in September. So they have like the summer to renovate and get everyone there and whatnot. Yeah, so I can't wait to see where the Chicago office goes. Maybe they'll make it out here to LA. Maybe they'll do an LA office. I don't think so because one thing that I loved about Barstool is what I resonate with is that I don't find this as too much of a diss, but I'm white trash, just like mindset-wise, white trash. And that's why I love like Brie Chicken Fry, Portnoy, Big Cat, like the funny version of white trash. And I think Barstool just like amplifies that. And West Coasters, I just don't think get that. And I think that's just like a Northeast thing, and I'll like lump Chicago in with that. So I don't think they'll make it out west. Yo, Barstool, part of my take, whatever. Like, if you ever need any help, like, what's up? But yeah, I can't wait to see how their Chicago office goes. And I'm just hyped to see where, like, Barstool is going to continue fucking dominating shit. And I can't wait to see where that goes. And I'm trying to think, like, any other updates. We went over Gunna. We went over Young Thug. Went over new shit I've been watching. And, yeah, we're going to keep coming with more episodes. Like, I want to be able to have fun segments. We're going to interview people. These were just the first two to kind of like get it out there, talk about shit, get a feel for being in here and everything. Because I've always said that with people in our office, like, we just need to get in there and talk about shit, say your opinion on stuff, talk about whatever. And yeah, that's what I wanted to do today. And we out here. So appreciate you listening to episode 2 of the Mackin Show. We're going to be here for so much more shit and can't wait to take you along for the ride. So I can't wait. So peace.